You get something under contract, call all those people, tell them, hey, I got this property for $100,000. We'll be able to sell it for $235 when we're done. We're going to put 45 in it. Deal. Are you interested in securing your money against this property or something like that? You know, and they say no. Call the next person. Call the next person. Call the next person. Go do the same thing with the bank. Go in and speak to somebody in the commercial loan department. Don't talk to anybody in the residential loan department. Okay, they're going to be talking about 30-year loans and stuff like that. Go talk to folks in the commercial lending department. They're going to understand exactly what it is that you do. Okay, and just keep going. What I did for my very first rehab deal before I had any lenders was I went and did the bank thing. And I sat in front of the first banker and I said, this is what I want to do. Can you help me? And they asked me all these questions I didn't understand, and I didn't know the answers to, and I was just totally unprepared for it. I went out in the parking lot after that meeting. I sat down, I wrote down I just organized my thoughts, all the questions they asked me, and then I went to the next banker, and I was much more prepared. Then I went to the next banker, and I was that much more prepared. And finally, I ended up getting financing for that, and that's the bank that I still deal with today. So, mistake number 2, in the area of acquisition, offering a list of properties without using a formula. Newbie students will randomly lowball offers. Folks, what happens when you randomly lowball offers on listed properties? I know we have some realtors in the room. Can you tell me what happens when well, what happens?
The owners get intimidated and they don't even want to talk, period.
Mm-hmm.
It's
And
offensive to the seller.
It's offensive to the seller. What if the seller's bank? Does that matter? Do we care about offending a bank?
Well, sometimes they'll, after a while, when you have a bad reputation, they'll see your name and just throw the trash can.
Reputation, throw you off in the trash can. Are they supposed to do that, Ron?
No.
Okay, they're not supposed to do that. Does it get done though?
Yes.
It gets done all the time, right? It gets done all the time. So here's the thing. You said it. Messes up your reputation. You get a bad reputation very, very quickly, right? Using a formula provides a consistent scientific approach for analyzing deals. So at the end of the day, even if your offers are lower than everybody else out there, and there's 25 highest and best multiple offers on property, at least at the end of the day, you can say, you know what, I'm scientifically making offers on this property, so I just need to tweak something in my formula to get myself more competitive. So when you use a good formula, it's going to leave you plenty of wiggle room, and you're going to have plenty of room for profit, plenty of room to solve costs. Trust in the formula, folks. I have a lot of folks, especially students who are brand new, come to my coaching program. They'll say, well, Steve, I ran the formula that you taught me, and I think I'm using a good after repair value, ARV. I think I'm using good repair values. I think I'm square on my repairs, but I want to leave a little bit of room for negotiation. Don't do that. We're in a hyper-competitive market right now. There is no such thing as room for negotiation, okay? That's gone right now. Now, all real estate is hyper-local, okay? And even as I stand here and I do business 35 minutes south of here, and that's where we work, it's very different where we're standing right now than it is in my neck of the woods. So all real estate is hyper-local. With that being said, folks, it's hot out there right now, right? So here's my formula. Write this down. After repair value times 0.70 minus repairs equals offer. Let's say that one more time. After repair value, that's based on sold comps, recent sold comps, not something from 2 years ago, times 0.70 minus repairs. That's using a realistic repair number, not something that's too low, not something that's too high. That equals your offer price. Okay. Now, if you're in an area that's uncertain to you, and you're not 100% sure on the ARV because there aren't a lot of comps and stuff like that, you can go down on this number. You might go to 65 in some areas. But I'll tell you right now, if you're doing that in my neck of the woods, you are nowhere close. Okay. In fact, some of my students have been bumping this up to 72. But I want you to use caution. As you start bumping this number up, your margins are getting smaller and smaller, and you better know what you're doing. Okay, here's what I can tell you. Here's the takeaway. If you use 70% here, you're never going to get hurt as long as you know what you're getting into. If you're buying something that's on public water, public sewer, okay, so you're not going to have any sort of, have to drill any 1,000-foot wells. Ask me how I know. Been down that road. Not going to have to replace any metal septic tanks. Ask me how I know. Been down that road. You're not going to have any $30,000 septic tanks. Ask Ron. Albie knows about that, okay? That you're gonna have to have any of that stuff done. You're not gonna get hurt, you're not gonna lose money, folks, if you use this and you're using accurate ARV and accurate repair. Sound good? Any questions on this slide? Okay.
How do you determine ARV?
How do you determine accurate repair value? That's a good question. I like to use sold comps, okay? Sold comps that have sold usually since the first of the year, all right? We're about halfway through, so 6 months ago. I like to have something that sold 2 or 3 months ago, okay? That's similar in, it's got to have the same number of bedrooms, same number of bathrooms. The house style does not have to be the same, but I like to be in the same neighborhood. Square footage, I like to be in the ballpark. But what's more important than square footage to me is the number of beds and the number of baths. And in the same neighborhood.
Can't you reconfigure that stuff?
I'm sorry?
Can't you reconfigure the number of rooms and the number of?
Absolutely.